So welcome everyone. Today is our day number 9. And well done to Bin, who's been here every single day. And well done to you for being here for Friday night and talking about the inner world. Okay, so we are on this journey. We have explored the perspective of life through science, the formula of life's origin. And we are right now in the process of exploring the life's perspective from the religion point of view, or sorry, perspective, and that's the human structure. So yesterday we've covered truth, and we looked at the things that we lean on, and we realized that these are forever changing, so they're not stable. Yeah, we lean on them for stability, but you cannot get stability when they change over time. And so we discovered truth, as in we talked about truth, and it's a little bit a concept that is quite new. And you know, and it's not from thinking. So as soon as we think of it, it's gone. But when we have it, so today I'm going to go in a little bit deeper as to what it looks like. So when we have truth, when we're in truth, we'll know that way we can recognize it. So that's truth. And then we discovered, and we talk about we drew the human body structure. This is my original one. So the one I drew is not here. We looked at the human structure and we realized that there's an inner, and then there are our 16 character traits, and then our emotions outside. And then we've got, the electromagnetic fields, the positive and the negative, and then our emotions, and then our body, which is soil, water, air, fire. And then we've got our electromagnetic fields again around our body. Then we looked at the more differentiated karma and the sources of energy, as well as the general karma, which we will go into both of these once we've talked about, we've spoken about the body. So today, so we looked at the meanings of each one of each character trait today. All right, everyone, please get your paper ready. So if you have any queries, and I appreciate your questions yesterday, Nancy, really helpful questions, because it digs deeper to what we are doing. So today, now I'd like to take you through the functions of the characters, of the character traits. Hey, Annie, good to have you here. It's Friday and you're here. I was just saying, saying that extra congratulations to those that are here tonight. So well done. So first, all right, at the very top, I would like you to write the functions of the 16 traits. So these are the functions. So I'm going to write it in my, I'm going to write it here. There's a bit of writing today, and I realized that when you write, you can actually think and have it seep into your unconscious. Yeah, so the functions of the 16 traits, of the 16 human traits. So sorry if it turns a little bit. Yeah, you've been very, very tolerant of me. So we have the 16 characters. Yeah, I'll just put the body here. So we have the 16 characters, and we're going to write it out straight out here so we can see the functions and I can point to them. Yeah, so first I would like you to write the first 3, and I'm going to use green for those because they're special. Except for ideation, I'm going to use orange. So the first 4 I'm going to write on this corner. Follow me, because then you can draw your arrows. So first here is receiving. So we have receiving as our top. Oh, look at me. The receiving. I'm writing like this. When you talk, oh yeah, there you go. Receiving, yeah. Receiving being our first character trait. Then ideation, yeah. So as the more times you write, the easier for you to remember. And it's crucial to remember these if you want to use the perspective of religion and faith. It's like we know the earth, yeah, we know where Australia is, we know where America is, that kind. And then there's action. And yet when we only have 16 and we don't know where they are, what they do. So now it's time to get to know them. Consciousness. All right, so we've got 4 that way. Yep, I have. Okay, so now, so that's the first round, the orange ring. Yeah, the first ring. Now up to the blue ring, I would like to write them here. How many are there in the blue ring without looking?
7. 5.
No. Really? That's the other one. Good. You got the number right, but not the right ring.
5.
5. There's only 5, guys. And this is most important to know. Yeah. This is most important to know because as you go through, you will see why they are so important. So important to know. So we start off with, what's the first one? Money. Yes. Money to represent our enoughness. Yeah, our ability, our enoughness. Number 2 is beauty. To represent what?
What's the person in blue?
Like our standards. Now I use the blue ring here, but I'm not using. So for character traits, I use orange for most of them. Yeah, except for these green. I just wanted to make a point with those ones. So it doesn't matter, not too much, but yeah. So beauty is to represent like our standards. Yeah, how we look, usually on the way things look. And then we have fame. Now fame is a big one. Yeah. And we've learned from the the tree that I drew back in the day is we want to feel like we matter. We are important. We're significant. We are seen. Yeah, it's all in here in this fame. And then our eating. And then our sleeping. Which is to represent the things we need. And this one is our rest. Sleeping. Yeah. And on the other side is the brown ring. Yeah, the brown ring. How many do we have, Nancy?
7.
Yes, 7. Do you remember the first one? So I'm going to write up here. The first one here?
Greed.
Yes, greed. Yeah, greed is like our desire. Yeah, I'm going to write greed nice and big, but the rest I'm going to write smaller. And then anger, as in the way we, so here, let's write them. Anger. Or displeased, yeah. Ignorance.
Sân si này.
Dạ, đúng rồi anh. Arrogance. Anh đừng confuse em. Tự nhiên viết tiếng Việt trên này. Start writing in Vietnamese. Arrogance, and then we have doubt. Yeah, so we need to know them by heart. And then we have evil. Well, look at me there, see? I get distracted. View. There you go. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plus 5 is 12, plus 4 is 16. Now we've got all of the character traits on this paper. We're going to understand how they function. Yeah, look at this. Oh, I lost sleeping down here, but yeah, there's a bit. The functions of the 16 traits. So we need to know how they function inside us. And it explains it so beautifully. It explains everything. I find this. So let me get my black texter to do the drawings. Yeah. So with our traits, we have our 2 captains. That is the meanings that we make of the world around us. That's our ideation, our idea of what's happening around us. That's why it's called an ideation. It's not actual fact. Yeah, our idea of what's happening. And that goes together with what we want, our desired outcome. Yeah. So let's pick eating. It's the easiest one to pick. Yeah, let's pick eating. What happens is our thoughts about eating and our greed on eating. So say you go to work and you come home and you're expecting a meal, yeah, a cooked meal like ready. But you come home and the kitchen is quiet and it's cold and there's no meal because wife has gone out with her friend to ăn chè. Right? So you come home, no one's at home. You thought it's Friday. There's supposed to be some meals on the table, no meals, and wife's gone out to ăn chè. So now your idea is, at that point, what would it be, Bin? What would it be? Honest here.
For anger.
Yeah, the idea is she
Wow.
doesn't care.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't care. She cares about herself more. It's always about her friends and her first. I'm never ever first, right? So
Yeah.
that's the idea. And also, I don't have food. Yeah, it means I don't have food, but I want food. I worked all day, 16 hours already. I deserve, yeah. So the idea is I deserve food, but I don't have food. So the greed for food. Can you see it? So your ideation about money and your greed on money, your ideation about beauty and your greed on money and your ideation about fame and your greed on fame and your ideation on eating and your greed on eating, or your ideation about sleeping and your greed on sleeping. Yeah. So there, that goes there. Yeah, your ideation about certain area. That's why I say these are so important to remember. And there's only 5. There's only 5. Yeah. And it's similar. If you're familiar with the with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, this one is very similar to that one. Okay, so ideation and your want on that thing. Often when it's not satisfied. Yeah. When it's satisfied, so you come home and your ideation of is, oh, Lynn said that she's going to go out with her friend tonight, right? So it looks like I'm going to have to find something to eat. And then you come home and there's like this big elaborate meal on your favorite food, gỏi gà or whatever, delicious with chao or whatever, and it's just the house is clean. And so you have a beautiful pleasant surprise, right? So it's more than what your greed is. Now what happens is it will now, that's your ideation on one of these things will now affect this, the level of this. So it will affect the level of this. So it will affect the, so if the ideation is a pleasant surprise, well, then your energy will go whoosh. Yeah. You will feel this positive, right? You'll feel positive about the experience. But depends on how it is. Yeah. If it's not according to what you want, if what you think is not according to what you want, well, then it will affect the level of negativity. You will experience the negativity that you will experience. Yeah. So I will now, this is my next, okay. So are you with me? But it's not finished yet. Yeah, it's not finished yet. But I want to show you this, and we will have to come back to finish off the activity. Because, so this activity here, I've got another sheet here, which shows the degree. I'll take this away because this one needs to drive home what does it mean by degree? Okay, here is the degree of greed. Oh, I should draw the line up here actually. Greed, if it's negative, like really, really bad, well, then it's greed. Yeah, like it's bad when you want it for yourself. Yeah, but if you want it for someone else, then it's charitable. You want it for someone else if you want it for them, or so it's on the positive. Are you with me? It makes you feel positive. Anger is negative, pleased is positive. Are you with me? So this anger here, if you are pleased, if your idea of food is exceed your want is exceeded, yeah, then you're not anger. You're very pleased. Are you with me? So that's the vibration. You be pleased. Yeah, I can see Annie nodding. Yep. Yeah, that's what it means. So ignorance, if you feel ignorance as in if it's a negative, well then you feel like spellbound, you know, it's like like you're totally have no control. Like your mind is not straight. When you know, like you're spellbound. Yeah, the word is spellbound. Yeah. And if it's positive, well then you're in control. You know what's going on. You have clarity over things. Arrogance is self-conceited. So if you're really, really arrogant, but on a negative, in terms of this arrogance, is when you feel really low about yourself. Yeah, self-conceited. But if you are positive, well, you feel that superiority. It's a little bit, it's not negative because it actually makes you feel very high about yourself. Yeah, it's a high vibration of you. You know, you're like, I'm the best. You know, really powerful. Doubt, well, then if it's negative, then you have doubt. If it is positive, then you have confidence. Yeah. If it's evil, well, then yes, negative is evil. You think of, you know, hurting someone or hurting yourself or whatever, like needing someone to feel your pain. And if not, then it's virtuous. You know, you're kind of loving and then views. Your view, if it's negative, so if it's like vibrating down here, will you be able to turn up? Hot. Views, if it's negative, you want to stick to your view and you don't want to be open to anyone and you're closed, well then you're stuck to your view, then that's stubborn. But if you're really open because you're feeling great and you're open, well then you're agreeable, you know. Open, listen to others. Okay. So that is to understand this vibration. That is driven by your ideation of only those 5 things. Can I put this away? I'll send it I'll send it to you. Yeah. I think Annie's writing. I can wait. Are you done with this one here? Yeah. Okay. So that's just to give us that degree. Yeah. And so now, so your idea, can you see how important it is what your idea is of what's happening? Yeah, your idea of what's happening and how much you want this thing, it will drive this. And so you have this vibration going like this. So now say if you're in anger, yeah, because we often go into somehow, this one is like often that's our go-to. We get angry, we blame. Yeah, we blame, or we go silent. We use funny treatments, yeah, silent treatment, things like that. If we are in that, now this, when we are here, say we are vibrating low and we are anger or something like that, on doubt, how we are here affect our perception, what we take in, affect what we receive into our world. Oh my goodness. This is when I realized this, I'm like, oh my Lord, this is the reason why we have to be at peace, and this is why we have to know our inner world, why we have to have control of our world, because it affects. So if we are angry, it affects the way we receive information, what is going on in our world, into our world, and it makes our reality. Yeah. And it will also affect our action, what we will do in this moment. Yeah, affect our actions. And we know what our actions are is the result of our life. Yeah, how we will interact with others, how we'll speak to our kids is dependent on this. Yeah, of this comes from the idea that we are making in our head. We make it all up. Are you with me? So how we are here, and then it will also affect, I'll go from here, what we are conscious about. Now we take this to be real, what our knowledge is. So we meet someone, depends on how we feel, we're going to know if that person's a nice person or not. Can we see how we make it all up? That person is that person, but how we are here. If we are super happy, we see that person, we're like, oh, we love them. So great, get married. And then we're down here, we're angry. And all of a sudden, that person's not so nice anymore. And it's nothing. It's not, it's because of this. It's because of our vibration based on how we feel here, our character is in that moment, affect the way we receive things into our world, affect the way we take action or the activities in our life, and affect what we know, our consciousness. And who are we? We are only these three. We are what we take in. We are what we do. We are what we know. And yet it's at the mercy of the fluctuation of these, which comes from the need for those and the idea we make of it. It's not even real. The idea that we make of it and how much we want it. You know how many people are so angry when they're hungry? That's why we have the word hangry. Yeah. Yeah. Just because we don't have food, but we're not going to die yet. But yet, you know, we are at the moment I'm hungry. I'm not so nice to be around, unfortunately. So,
Very grumpy.
yeah, that's right. We feel like the whole world. See, we vibrate low. So our body is very important. It's very important to keep our body healthy because we can easily have this negative energy. So when we are not well, yeah, when we don't have our sleep, so when we're sick, is also here. It's in terms of rest, in terms of that, you know, health. Then it's also down, and it affects this, and that affects our world. That's it. The functions of the traits. How powerful is that? I thought this is really powerful when I know this. Now, how important to know this. When we know this, we can, you know, when we go into that know, where we can, you know, in the picture and what you hear, what you say, what you see, you can learn to say these things instead. Look, I have this ideation of money. That is why, and I agreed, I need more, I want more, and that is affecting my traits. And so I'm feeling like I'm projecting out the world like this. So it's important to know what to do, yeah? And that's why I love this. Next one. Next part is, oh, I was going to write that one. Okay. So what happens now is, let me bring back the Christmas. Okay. So what happens is we do have this, because of this, yeah, we want to be able to, okay, get balance. Get balance. How do we do that? We do have, so what we do, what we just talk about is the activity of these. And okay, so now say you're angry, what to do? We have this one here in the middle. That is where we're way away from this vibration here. We're in the center, and that's balance. So we want to get in here, and that's what our truth is. And how do we get there? Yeah, how do we get there? We have a thing called, remember, we have zero nature. So I'm going to introduce to you another concept called zero ego. It looks like this. So let's draw together. We're going to draw it. So at the very top, I would like you to write zero ego. I'll leave it here because I know some of you might want to look at it and draw. That's what we're drawing. Don't write the little notes. That's my notes. Draw the... Actually,
This is
take this
the
away.
balance.
Well, this is to get into balance. That's where we have our balance energy. And that's where our truth is. Our truth is actually when we know we are hearing, that knowing. That's truth. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just, that's what it's called, truth. So, but within that truth is where we have zero ego. Are you with me? Because we get to escape all of this. Not escape, but for a moment, not be in there. We're in here. It's our protector. It's got this balance energy. So at the very top, let's write zero ego. And we're going to draw the zero ego. Need to be a little more. Oh yes, yeah. So zero ego, let me see. Oh, I need new. No, I like this orange. There we go.
Stock it up in.
Zero ego.
It's from the shop. She took it all.
I've taken a lot because I write so much. That's like they just dry up. Okay, so there. Now zero ego is. So I want you to draw that funnel. That funnel. Let's draw it in black. That funnel. Yeah. That funnel first into the center here. So that funnel is where the information that we receive from outside. There are 5 different of them, so different ones. So I will say them, but I'm going to do hashtags, 5 of them. So people say something, something happened. I will go deeper into this. So it just goes right in here and goes right into the center. It will bypass. It goes straight into your center. Let's draw a circle.
The 5 dots, huh?
Don't worry about it for now. It's just information that you're receiving. So if someone swears at you, or someone shouts at you, or the kids argue back at you, or when people say no to you, or when people say that you're wrong, you know, things that you normally make you, give you discomfort. So, and then this one is orange. This one is your character traits. Look at my circle. Very, very strange. Not very balanced. Okay, and then the outside is your emotions. So when you hear a communication, yeah, someone communicates something to you. Oh no, look at my brown. Okay. Someone communicates something to you. You hear it. Say it's a no. You know, it's a no. You want something and it's a no. Sometimes we get embarrassed. Yeah. If, say, for example, Nancy, you're so pretty.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So now, all right, let's use this to explain what just happened. So that's information. Yeah. So you hear, yeah, you're so pretty. What happened first, Nancy? What happened?
Embarrassed, surprised,
You felt a bit embarrassed,
awkward.
right? Yeah, it was nice. So when you feel like it's nice, that's a feeling. So that's in your emotion. So you receive, you use this emotion, your emotion first. Are you with me? It reached your emotion first. Yeah. And then you say, thank you. You thought about it and you're like, what do I say? Did you say thank you? Now, when you think about it, you're in your traits. You're analyzing and differentiating. Is she saying it nicely, or is she mean to be sarcastic? Or yeah. So you're analyzing it, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to respond with thank you, because that seems appropriate. So you're using your character trait. But if you are using your center, you actually don't feel anything. You don't know anything about it. Well, not that you don't know. You know very well, actually. But it just goes right into the middle. And that is called zero ego. It just goes right in here. And it's just balanced, meaning it's not happy nor sad or bad. Anything.
So
That-
what would a response from the center be?
Nothing.
You don't
Very
respond?
dull. It's a very cold. It looks very cold and lifeless. And you know, it's like, you know, Zen. When you're like so Zen, you're like, you're so checked out. It
So
looks
that's how you feel, but you still have to respond. Otherwise, you're very rude.
yes. Yeah. So now, say for example, yeah, that's right. That's great. So say for example, Nancy, you're so dumb. Okay. Now that's a bit harder, right? So you might get angry, or you might say, "Oh, Lynn's crazy. She's only joking, or she's only using it as an example." So can you see you're analyzing it here?
Mm.
Yeah. But if you really take it to be real, you see how you might just react. Yeah. But you want to be calm and cool. So first thing you must do is you let it go in here first. It doesn't matter. It's just is. That's what it is. Zero nature is that those words, like we, the words have no nature. Remember, zero nature. So when it's out here, it's zero nature. When it's out here, it's zero nature. You hear it, it doesn't touch your emotions. Lynn could say anything she wants. It doesn't touch your, it doesn't, there's no, you're not analyzing or differentiating. It just goes right in here. And because you're in here, you will know it. You will know when it's in there because you're very balanced. So if you don't feel anything about what I said, whether Nancy, you're so pretty, or Nancy, you're so dumb, no feeling of anything, then that means you've received it. You have you've allowed it to just come in. You just let it be. Yeah. So now I want to introduce, so I'm going to leave this one here. I'll come back. We'll come back because there's one more thing we need to understand before we get that. So I want you to draw this one. I was going to draw it, but draw this one because that's exactly like that one. This one is the center. What do we do with our center is to accept. We just accept the information, not believe in it. We just accept the information. Like when someone gives something to you, you just accept it. Take it, put it down. You don't say, no, it's yours. Hold it, keep it. You don't. You just accept it. So that's our center. We use our center to accept the information that we take in at that moment. Our center is to accept. Yeah, our center is to accept. This one, I was going to draw it. But then I'm not drawing it. Now I have to fix this up. Okay. And then our traits is that second circle. Our traits, we use it just to differentiate and analyze. You know, our thinking. Yeah, that one there. We analyze, we differentiate, and we analyze. And then if your daughter comes home and she's in tears, yeah, it is very, very not recommended. Okay, not recommended to go into your center. Why would I say that? Why would I not recommend if your daughter comes home and she's distressed and she's crying and you're in your center, what would happen?
You would appear very cold. You need to feel the empathy.
You don't care. Exactly.
Yeah.
Very disconnecting. Yeah. So it's not always good, but it's very important. It's very important. If your daughter comes home and she snaps at you and you had a hard day, yeah, very important to be in here. In center.
So what happened to your wife?
you with me?
Snappy?
With your wife, you're even more vigilant. Be in here and then get out there. If she's crying, the same. If you're in here and she's crying,
Don't stay
like
silent.
that is done. That is done exactly. Don't be silent.
Yeah.
Can you see why? So this is these three here. This one is to respond. So if they are coming to you, you know, then you use emotions to respond. But if you hear something that is not, you know, you're boiling, well, then use your center. Your choice is to think about it. Okay, Lynn is saying, I'm pretty. What I'm going to do right now? I'll just say thank you. Yeah?
I was like,
Analyzing, differentiating.
yeah, geez, that's random. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
random. Why did she say that? Why did she say that? That is so random.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And you use exactly that. You differentiate and you analyze and you said that. Yeah, you didn't say that's so, you didn't laugh your head up and say, Lynn, are you crazy? What are you doing? Yeah, that would be responding. Yeah, that would still be using your traits actually, because you're differentiating, but not with a calm energy. Yeah. So that's what you do. And when something like that happens, when we need to, when it's not pleasant, you want to have that zero nature. You want, zero ego. Zero ego just means that you pass all the ego of emotions, of character. Yeah, we need our ego for sure. Without our ego, we're just gonna be, yeah, oh, you're hurt, okay. Like, what can I do? I can't do anything about it. No, it's not true. When you're here, the beauty thing about this is, this story is used later, but I'll use it again later. But when you're here, it is so calm that you'll be able to listen so deep. You know, when you say you listen carefully, so say your daughter comes home and she's snappy. She's not crying, she's snappy. Yeah, she's snappy. And you're like, I had a hard day. When you're here, she doesn't have to say much. So it's like this, like if you would stand in the middle of a lake, yeah, say a vase of water, yeah, in the middle, in the center. And imagine there's, the sun is shining. Yeah. I want you to imagine it. Imagine you're standing in the center of a lake and the radius is about 1 kilometer. Yeah. Long, big, but it's still as still can be. It's still as still can be. There's no wind. There's nothing. It's just you and the lake. If there is a stone, like a speck of something that's thrown into the river, into the water, do you think you can feel it? Do you think you can know that there's an activity in the water?
Probably.
Of course. If there's something that dropped into the water, yeah, are you with me? You have to see that first. You have to see the water so still. And then there's like, dong. Can you feel it? Will you know it?
Yeah.
Yeah? You will know it. That's the power of being in this zero ego, because you're so still, you're so unattached to what is going on around you. You're so calm that you'll be able to listen deeply. You see deeply. You hear all the words that are unsaid. And that is seeing the other. When you're so still, that's the power of the zero ego. That's the power of the truth. When you go to truth, you'll be able to be so calm that you listen well. Well, there's more. Yeah. It's so calm, so powerful here. Yeah. So if you have that moment, which cannot be from thinking, you cannot think to get there. You're just calm. You're just no touch. Like it's just, you just accept the information. And I'm sure you've had it before. So now that you know that, when it happens, catch it and you know how it feels, you know what it's like, and then you can repeat it more. Yeah, because when you have an experience of it, then you can repeat it because you know what to look for. But you've had it in your life where it's just like all of a sudden, look, that happens. And when you say, oh my goodness, you're so calm. When that happened, if it was me, I'd go crazy. You hear that a lot. But how come you're so calm? And in those moments, sometimes we just access our truth and we have none of these traits working outside, none of that, they're not distracting you. It's just right in and you're here, you receive it, like you accept it like that, and then you know what to do with it. And then, of course, you can't stay there forever. You have to go out here to differentiate and to analyze. And if you need to be emotional right now, well, you better be emotional. Are you with me? If your daughter is like out here and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so bad and it's so sad, and you have to connect with her through here, well, then you cry with her. But you will not be snapping back at her and say, do you know how hard my day has been? How dare you being disrespectful to me? You won't, because you hear her. You know exactly what to do that's appropriate. You just need to be here. Okay. This is very important, and that's why I spend that time talking. Anyone want to say anything about it? You have a comment? Zero ego. Super, super, super important.
It's got me thinking about how I used to be in the past, where something happened, I was just very quick at it's like, you know how like something major happened, there's no emotions, right? I'm just like, all right, what do I do? And then bang, come out with trying to get solution and whatever without any emotion, anything at all. Is that similar?
That is good, but the only difference is you know exactly what's happening. Like you're very alert. In this place here is not a not hear the other person. You're very alert and you're very attuned to all the environment around you. You're just not affected by it, but you're very, very attuned. That's why I say that you know, standing in that center of the lake. If you're not attuned, well then you've numb. You know, you block out because it hurts so much, you just block so you can carry on. But it's not clear, you're clouded. Whereas this one is crystal clear. You know what's going on, you know that it's bad, you know it all, but it doesn't affect you in a way that you lose control. So from this place, you go out and you're like, okay, this has happened, this has got to be done. Oh, you are sad, you are la la. You hear that person and you will go in and you're like, you know what to say, you know how to be with them. Yeah, that's the only difference. So you know whether you're in truth or you're numbing or you're shut down. Yeah, that's the difference. Very clear. It's beautiful, it's clear, it's strong.
What do you mean by zero nature in top? So
Zero. Out here is zero nature. So when zero nature is like say your daughter shouts at you, but she, remember, everything in the world has no nature. So when you can see it as no nature, you can have zero ego. I think it's normally zero ego first before you can see it as zero nature. Yeah, zero ego is like your truth first, and then you will see that as, she's just her. She's just had a bad day. Look at her. She needs more love. It's not that she's being disrespectful to me. Are you with me? That's what she's zero nature. People, things, activities, events in the world, they all have no nature. It's what we make of it. But when we are here in our zero ego, we can see them as zero nature more easily. Yeah, we need this one. That's why it's our truth. Just to balance, just to make us